I've made a model to show the existing structure of the house. This is from the front. The garage is here, and then the floors are shown as slabs, the steps up there from the ground to the sort of slightly raised level here. Then on the first floor you step up again into the kids' bedroom here. I've not shown the front gable or the rear gable for simplicity. You look into the model, you can see the opening. This is the kitchen area here at the back of the garage, and then we've got the steel across here, and then there's a funny little thing going on here with this steel which is supporting, and there's another steel supporting this partition between the stairwell, which I've not shown, the stairs, and the bedroom here. Here are the purlins which you run this way, which in turn support the rafters. They are supported off of these two walls. These two walls are the main structural element. This one, well, I'm not going to, yeah, you can see these walls which are in yellow. Yellow is load-bearing masonry. Anything with a green sort of colour is timber, and then the floors are this grey colour, and then non-load-bearing is a lighter colour here. So there's the basic existing structure. Now you'll see that I've now also created and proposed. Again, this is from the garage end. Floating floors are shown. A couple of people there to give an idea of scale. This is the kids' bedroom with that funny feature above the ceiling, which creates this shape. I've not shown the cupboard in this area, but this gives a good idea of what we're dealing with. Yellow is load bearing, red is steel work. Okay, so the first scene is this is the option that you wanted, a staircase in the middle of the house. So this is the living room here. So if you have the staircase in this area, it has to come up in this space here between the two trusses, as we've discussed previously. To do that, we need to access this area and put the bedroom at the front of the house, which was your gut feeling really, is that you wanted at the front because of the trees at the back for safety. So what we have to do is retain these purlins here which support the roof. Again, you can see the roof here, which needs to be supported from these purlins. In order to do that, we have to, and we also need to cut out this truss here to provide a link through. So to do that, we're cutting the truss, but to provide support we need to introduce steel work here to make a frame so that you can then move through into this space here. I'm going to strip away more of the structure and just leave the steel work and the load bearing masonry to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. So we need to put in, the way this structure works is that, going back to this idea of these walls here being the key load bearing elements of the house. Remember, the bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms here, the garage is here. We need to bear off that. So I've put a steel in here, off which we can span a steel here and two steels here. Now the relevance of that is that that provides you with an opening for the stairwell. Okay, and then this, ignore the sizes of the steel at the moment because they're just guesstimates, they're probably shown too big, but these two here sandwich this truss, and the reason for that is because when you reintroduce the floor, we still need to support these elements, which you can see when you go into the loft. They're like beams that stick up out of the ground that you can trip up on. These are supporting the ceiling, which are these elements here of the living room. They're actually hung from these elements, which in turn sit on these trusses. So we need to keep these in and then introduce new joists in between there that provide the new floor. That's why we need to put a steel on this side of the truss and a steel on the other side of the truss, in order that these floors here and here are supported. There's the additional steel here as well, and I'm not sure whether or not you'd need this post and this beam in here. At the moment I'm showing it to support, purely to support this remaining part of the truss here, which is going to have to stay in because of these purlins that have to remain. So all that work would mean the roof can stay as it is and there's no change to the roof structure. But there's quite a lot of work here. You're putting a beam in across here out of steel, and you're putting another beam in there and two more beams in here in order that you can retain the trusses here and here. This space here would still need to be accessed from the original loft hatch here, and that gives me the final layout again for you to have a look at. Really, it's pretty self-evident. A lot of steel work in this option, but I think as part of the feasibility study this offers a solution, subject of course to speaking with an engineer. I hope that's okay. Speak to you about it soon. Thank you.